Hello and welcome, my friends. I finally did it. I finally got live. It's only taken me weeks. I've been wanting to do this. I wanted to do it yesterday, but that wasn't going to happen. I was really not feeling well, and my kiddo needed me, and I was just like, nope, can't happen. Still feeling a little bit funky, but thankfully I've been able to shift this quite quickly. Yeah, so feeling better. Excited to get into Mercury Retrograde. But it's going to be, I think, something that we kind of need, just like everything else. Divine timing, if you will. So, I will be doing things a little bit differently for my friends who are catching this after I've done my live. I will be pulling the reading out of the live session and posting it as its own video with chapters so people can easily access the information that they need quickly. So that is how I'd like to work it. Timing on that, I don't know because I haven't figured it out or done it. So we'll kind of go with it. But that is my plan. Now tomorrow, depending on what time zone you're in and where you're at will depend on when Mercury is actually going into retrograde. Time zones, that type of thing, it matters. So know that in the next 24 hours-ish, we're going to see Mercury go into retrograde. It's the second time this year. We have another 4, another one hitting in August and another one in December. Thankfully, it's not a planet that goes into retrograde for long periods of time. About 3.5 weeks. When Mercury is in retrograde, of course, because Mercury is a personal planet, it impacts us greatly because we're social beings, and it's all around the communication, and that's what really impacts us the most. Because we are social beings, communication is important, whether it be technology. So yes, technology can be a bear this in the next 3 weeks, and then also interpersonal. So know that those are going to be a challenge. Just like everything else, a challenge does not mean a death sentence. It just means we're going to have to use our tools in different ways to overcome challenges. But at the same time, because we do have such a loud and proud planet in retrograde, some of those lesser, more hidden opportunities can come forward to us should we stay present. And that's what I want to look at. Because even with things in challenge, there are opportunities. So that's what I kind of want to look at. Yeah, we know it's going to impact communication, but what else? And that's why I do these readings. So let's get into the readings. The cards I've chosen for this. Now, this is a deck that was gifted to me. It is the Wild Unknown Tarot. It is very black and white with splashes of color. It is not a deck that is something that I would have chosen, but a very good deck, I find, for Mercury retrograde, because we find it's more black and white right now, and there are those hidden splashes of color. To help out, I do have the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. Our chakra system has a tendency to take a beating at this point in time because the energies are so off for us. And like I said, it's a personal planet, which really impacts us greatly. So let's get into this. What does Mercury bring, my friends? What can we expect? And I will be doing this the same way. I will do a quick overview of the cards, and then I'll get into it more afterwards. I'm trying to structure my readings so that the group readings are more user-friendly. The first card, the Ace of Cups, really highlighting those opportunities. Will it be challenging? Absolutely. There are rewards to every challenge. The Two of Wands, decision card. the Two of Swords. Talks about that balance and knowledge. Wheel of Fortune. Right away, we can see that we do have two pieces. One, balance is going to be incredibly challenging. It will be on a sword's edge. We have the multiple twos right beside each other. Multiple twos in angel messages talks about that balance. Talks about that connection. And we do have that connection between the knowledge and that passion scent. We also see that Mercury is bringing us the Wheel of Fortune, which talks about movement. So Mercury in itself is going to, like I said, bring us opportunities. We can move ourselves forward. However, it's going to be a choice. We are the ones that need to be the driving force. This will not just happen. We need to push it forward. All right. What will support, my friends, to get the most out of Mercury retrograde? Minimizing those challenges. I love it when the cards are like, just what she said, balance, baby. So, and again, this is something that we're going to have to very much seek out. It's not going to be an easy thing to maintain. It's not like we can go, oh, well, I did a balancing meditation 2 days ago. Sure, that would have helped 2 days ago. It's going to be an ongoing, consistent follow-up. Very much connected to the Wheel of Fortune, completion. Completion can feel good. At the same time, it can feel pretty darn ungood. Because again, when we complete something, that means there's change. And we're not a species that enjoys change. It can be very, well, challenging. It can be very hard to comprehend or embrace. And there's that grieving part. Because when we complete something, that cycle ends and something begins. Gossip. Very much connected into that low vibration of Mercury retrograde. People not hearing properly, people understanding different things that are being shared, jumping to conclusions, all that neat jazz. It's going to hinder this. That's why balance is on a knife's edge, because we can destabilize, become reactive, and, well, then once we start to wobble, it's so easy to tumble and fall. So no, just like any Mercury retrograde, you are going to have to be very, more active in some of this stuff, very much in that driver's seat, to get the most out of Mercury retrograde. Okay, so I've done that overview. Let's look and get into it a little bit more. Okay, Two of Wands, the decisions we need to make, they're not going to be the easiest decisions, especially up against the swords here. Swords are about knowledge. Well, the Wands are about passion. They're not about emotion, they're about passion. It's what fuels you. Think solar plexus and third eye here. We're kind of staying away from the heart. The heart is what's going to cause us problems, because we're going to be reacting to misinterpretations, to the gossip, to the Mercury retrograde funk that comes forward. When we're destabilized and not able to function, and we're resisting or minimizing, we are slowing progress down. We're literally, and I like the fact that it's kind of almost like a dream catcher here, but it has spindly bits. Usually the wheel is very smooth. here we have the jagged pieces, and it can be easier to grab hold of, sure, but it can easier to hold on to and resist. Slow that cog down, causing ourselves more heartache, more pain, more challenge. We get stuck. We don't like getting stuck. Well, and many of us are stuck anyway. We just get ourselves stuck more. Know that the first card we pulled was the Holy Grail, the Ace of Cups. Lots of opportunities, lots of new beginnings if we're embracing this. If we are feeling okay with that shift, with that change. Know that it's not going to be leaps of faith. We cannot spin this faster, because we're going to do the same thing as if we get ourselves stuck and hold on to it, where we're resisting that change. We get it moving too quickly and it's out of control. We miss opportunities, we miss possibilities. Slow. 1, 2. When we're slow and we're steady, we are able to embrace change. We're able to really flourish. We see that transformation because we're okay with some discomfort. Yeah, it might not always feel the best. We may not feel totally in control of things. We may not feel like we've got... It just sometimes feels gross and heavy. But if we're okay with feeling gross and heavy for a short period, where with that gross and heavy, we're identifying, not just sitting there going, oh, this feels yuck, I don't like yuck, oh, yuck. Where we're identifying, because again, we're taking that knowledge, where is that yuck coming from? And what's more, how can you release it and move it forward? Have that completion and grab that Holy Grail. All right, let's go forward into what Mercury Retrograde is going to offer. Now you can work with it. I like how the fact that the Two of Swords has an eclipse going on, because we had one yesterday or last night. Hopefully you guys managed to be okay with that, and you survived it, right? Because they can be a bit of kind of a little mini tower experience, because the universe is slamming doors shut while opening others. And a lot of us will feel that things are starting to almost destabilize and get a little bit different since the eclipse. Three of Pentacles, the Triforce Perfecta, where you're working with self, you're working with your physical support team and your spiritual support team. And no, never should you in Mercury retrograde just go, oh, communication's a problem, I'm just going to shut down. It's not going to help you. This is the Son of Wands, also known as the Knight of Wands. He's in reversal or on his head. This is the Knight that is very passion based. He is full of that fire, that very much courageous movement forward energy. He's on his head. We have the Nine of Cups. Very much that prosperity card. This is usually the card with the very plump man sitting there with 9 cups behind him, and he's sitting with his arms like, yeah, I did that. The Father of Swords. Mr. Spock himself. The King of Swords. He too is on his head. So, these two swords are very much connected together. I said that balance is going to be very much on that knife's edge. The King of Swords, or the Father of Swords, becomes very tyranny and very demanding especially if we're not using our head, if we're not using our tools. And we're going to see that when we are resisting things, when we're not breathing, we're not staying in that frontal cortex, that third eye center, he's really going to push hard. We're going to feel that knife's edge because that gossip, that low vibrational stuff is going to come forward. We're not going to be breathing properly, and we're going to cause ourselves more challenge. Think of it as when you have a parent say, "Oh, well, I told you so." This is going to be that on steroids, guys. It is going to be, "I told you so, and look what else you did. I'm going to show you all the stuff that you are really struggling at." You're going to feel that grief. You're going to feel that pinch. When you do take your breath and you've got that frontal cortex going and you are using your third eye, which means working with the high vibrational self, your higher self, you're taking all the knowledge that you can and creating solutions and working with the wheel, you're going to see another situation where you can say, "No, Dad, I told you." Either or, my friends. And you could receive all of it in the same next 3 weeks. So know that, yes, the Father is connected not only to this Two of Swords, to the Two of Wands, to the Wheel, but also to the Three of Pentacles, where we are looking at using your words. Yes, they may be hard, but that does not minimize or negate your responsibility to self and others. Like I said, we shouldn't be hiding. We need to be using our tools, checking in. This is what I heard you say. What did you hear me say? I want to make sure we're on the same playing field. Additionally, asking for the help, both from our physical support team and from our spiritual support team. When we work in cooperation, we're going to see these things start to fall into place better. We have that balance. We're moving ourselves forward. We're grieving that loss and saying, okay, you know what, that sucks. However, what it's going to be replaced with, I know is going to be better. It's going to fulfill me on multiple levels. The first two cards we had, Cups, which is the emotion. It's also that intuitional energy. It's also a very creative card. With the Two of Wands, what talks about that passion. It's that very fiery passion. It too is also very creative. This is two sides to a coin. The intuitional creativity and the passion-based creativity. So we do have that ability to be very prosperous. Should we stop and remember to use that frontal cortex and also ask for the help that we need, especially when we take the Nine of Cups into consideration, which is a card of prosperity, but not just any abundance. The prosperity and abundance comes in more than just the tangible. There's two prosperous cards. One is the Nine of Cups here, and the other is the Pentacles. The Pentacles is more that tangible, monetary, physical attributes. This talks about the abundance in different areas of your life. Emotional, intuitional, and spiritual. When we use those aspects, we start to see things thrive. Creativity is part of this because, again, we connect into our see, words are already hard. Intuitional creativity, but also the passion base, which is an emotion. When we build off of that, we start to see things really start to sprout out and grow. Now we do have this sun, this knight. Like his uncle here, we do have the ability to use him to our advantage. He is an adolescent, go big or go home energy. Just like any youth, direction is important. So when we use our head, we can push the energy, that passion, that courage, to our advantage. But we have to make sure that we are in control of that thinking center. If we are reactive, he is running helter-skelter and he is running the show. And his uncle's getting mad. But when we're using our third eye and we're controlling him, uncle stays pretty happy. We're using that very Vulcan energy of mind, thinking, staying in that third eye thinking center, not getting caught up in the crap. We get caught up in the crap, and we're pretty much muddying this up, and we're not going to shift. And we're going to find that the universe will only allow us to be stuck for so long before we do get the tower involved, and then it becomes all sorts of yuck and painful, and we don't like it. And that brings in a whole other problem set, and it sucks. So no, Mercury retrograde wants not only to build off of what already is going right, but start to detangle things. The only way you're going to do that is by using your head. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that this helped to understand Mercury retrograde in a different way. Everybody gets caught up in the, oh my God, it's Mercury retrograde. What am I going to do? How's this going to go forward? And they start to, well, cause themselves more problems. Like anything else, Mercury in retrograde is another opportunity to use our skills and tool sets in a different way, bringing forward information in a different way. When we stay up here, we gain information. And it's just not what book smarts. It is about that high vibrational connection, those ahas that the high vibration will bring you. I do hope that you enjoyed this reading. And if you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up, as it does help people find me on the sea of YouTube. More importantly for you, don't forget to subscribe and hit that little red bell. I will be live more frequently, including tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm going to open up the queue after the reading, once I've done the group reading for the week, for people to have readings for themselves. Something that I've wanted to incorporate in, and I was hoping to start yesterday. However, I'm going to start it tomorrow. So if you want readings, you can subscribe and know when I'm live. And then connect in on chat on the queue. Where is the queue? How many people are on it? What's more is that I'm going to be doing more on Twitch. It's not under Mystic Star, it's under Geeking Goddess, because I do more than just tarot. I'm going to be doing all sorts of things, gaming, books, more of my passion set. And so people who aren't into tarot, who are into more cozy games or into books, will be able to connect in on that as well. So I do have a link. Later today I will be live on Twitch to actually do an unboxing of a book set I bought. So I'm pretty excited about that. So there's lots of different things that I'm trying to get into. Talks about that diversity, building off that core. Also, if you're looking for an added layer of support, I do have a Ko-fi and Patreon page. I've got links below. You can go check it out. Like I said, I will be live tomorrow. I'm going to explore the week ahead, our first full week into Mercury retrograde. I hope to see you then. Until tomorrow, my friends.